Hello all. You know what's interesting is that yesterday I put out a video and I got somebody who called me an idiot for believing in climate change. Last night, several tornadoes ripped through Mississippi here in the United States, in the US, and killed 23 people. Now, it's obvious that the intensity and the number of tornadoes in a single storm is increasing. The death count is going up. I wonder if these people who deny climate change will get the picture when a tornado or a hurricane or some severe storm wipes out their town and sees their friends and relatives killed, or will they just keep saying it's no such thing as climate change, it's the sun, it's the sun. Well, the reason these people continuously deny climate change is because it's too complicated for them, and when something's too complicated they want to shut it off and just deny it. That's the easy way to do it. Just say it doesn't happen because it hasn't happened to them yet. Let's go up here and look at some more facts about climate change. So a lot of reasons why we're in the trouble that we're in is because of overpopulation of humans. The population of humans right now is 8,023,230,743 999 humans. That's a lot of humans on this planet. And no matter what we do about trying to mitigate climate change, human population is the biggest problem. It's the biggest elephant in the room. You know, people say, oh, human population doesn't matter. Well, let me show you it does matter. How much food does each human eat? Researchers show that most humans eat between 3 to 5 pounds of food per day. Most humans eat 1,996 pounds of food per year. The average person uses 101.5 gallons of water per day. The average USan consumes more than 23 barrels of petroleum product annually. The average human breathes out about 2.3 pounds of carbon dioxide per year. Well, that's a good start. That just shows you that there is a problem with too many humans. If you add those all up and times it by 8 billion plus, you've got a lot of consumption. The amount of humans are currently existing on Earth outstrips the future resources available and Earth's carrying capacity. In 1800, there were about 1 billion humans. In 1940, there were 2.3 billion humans. In 1970, there was 7.5 billion humans. Now there are over 8 billion humans. Humans are the big, humongous elephant in the room. Another thing that people want to dump on with climate change is talking about alternative energies, the alternatives, the wind, the solar, and the hydro. They say that all these alternatives are made with fossil fuel, so you're just putting out fossil fuel, building more alternatives. But you have to look at it in the long term. Because if you look at it in the long term, the more alternatives you put in, the more infrastructure, the more the alternatives will build the alternatives. And you can use less and less fossil fuel to build alternatives. But right now, for this many humans, there isn't enough alternative energy online to build a lot of alternative energy. Do you understand that? So that dumping on alternative energy is not the way of the future. What other actions can we do to avoid using fossil fuel? Well, we can reduce our population. That would be the number one thing. The number two thing is use alternative energy. And yes, alternative energy uses a tremendous amount of rare earths and other minerals that our poor planet is running out of. We're really in a problem here of what to do about trying to convert from fossil fuel into renewable energy. Unfortunately, just dumping on alternative energy isn't the answer. It doesn't prove anything and doesn't help anything. If you're not going to talk about the big elephant in the room, overpopulation, and what to do about it. But overpopulation has another terrible thing, is the waste of humanity itself. How many humans become homeless, and the homeless end up on the side of the streets and the sidewalks around the poor areas and the middle class, and the garbage comes with it, and the trash and the guns and the violence and the death all comes with it, because humans don't want to have to pay to keep other humans from becoming homeless. So they complain and bitch and moan about having to pay for welfare, but they're not willing to put up with the consequences of not paying the welfare, which is humans being out of work and out of home and living in a tent and throwing their garbage on the street and pooping all over the place and making the place a rat's nest and a haven for violence. Humans are becoming their own garbage. But see, a lot of these facts humans don't want to deal with because it's complicated. They don't want to know about the homeless. They're just out there in those tents, and it's their own fault, and so on and so forth. When Reagan came in here in the U.S., he got rid of a lot of the programs that helped the poor stay out of being homeless. So he reduced it by about half, and now there's only a small amount of programs left, and then other presidents after him kept reducing the welfare and reducing it, saying that people live and have Cadillacs and all this nonsense, which was absolute crap. It was just so that they could get elected. And now there's so little welfare left in the U.S. that the streets are filling up with homeless and poor people that can't afford to live anymore, and they're so down in their luck they don't care, and they throw their trash out on the street. And the people that have the money, that choose to live in a nice neighborhood and all that, are now becoming overburdened with the homeless and the unwanted, and they're complaining about it, but yet they're not willing to pay the taxes. The wealthy aren't willing to pay the taxes to welfare to keep people out of this issue. And humans become their own trash. And it's going on and on, more and more, day by day. And pretty soon there'll be 50% wealthy and 50% poor living in the streets and tents, being moved from place to place, and all the trash and the rats and the violence and the drug use continues out in the street while you sit in your high, mighty, wealthy mansions complaining about the homeless. It just doesn't make any sense. In the 60s, 50s and 60s, we had a great welfare program here in the U.S., and homelessness was almost unheard of. The only ones that were homeless were the ones that wanted to be homeless and have the free lifestyle. But the funny thing is with that free lifestyle thing is that once they become sick and they don't have any insurance or any way to pay for their health care, they go to the wealthy and the people that are well off to help to have them pay for their medical bills and their help to get them out of the trouble that they're in. And so this free lifestyle that they talk about, well, yeah, free as long as there's plenty of wealthy people to take care of them when they get in trouble, such as medical problems, teeth problems, and that sort of thing. And they have to go and get welfare for it. So it's a vicious circle, the human garbage. It's all over the place, and it will continue to grow as long as humans refuse to clean up the mess and pay for welfare and programs for the poor. So I know it's a video that's got a lot of thinking in it, but environmental situations and climate change are very complicated and have lots of different avenues that you have to look at. You can't just say it's the sun, and think that and call me an idiot because I believe in climate change. I couldn't believe that. But anyway, I appreciate any comments you have on this subject. You're up, you new subscribers, and until next time.